Thermopylae, 480 BC. 300 Spartan warriors stood inside a narrow mountain pass, staring at the greatest army the ancient world had ever seen. Across the valley stretched the Persian Empire, thousands of soldiers, rows of cavalry, archers, elite guards. The horizon seemed covered with banners. Their commander was King Xerxes, ruler of the largest empire on earth. Ancient writers claimed his army numbered more than 100,000 men. Whether that number was exact no longer mattered. To the Greeks, it looked endless. Against them stood only a few thousand defenders led by King Leonidas of Sparta. Among them were just 300 Spartan warriors. Every one of them had been chosen for a reason. They were veterans. They had survived decades of military training, and every man had already fathered a son. If they died, their family name would live on. They all understood one thing. They had not come to win. They had come to delay. Months earlier, Xerxes had launched one of history's greatest invasions. City after city surrendered without resistance. Many Greeks believed fighting Persia was hopeless. Some immediately accepted Persian rule. Others abandoned their homes and fled. Only a handful of Greek city-states chose to resist. Their commanders searched desperately for a battlefield where numbers would mean nothing. They found it at Thermopylae, a narrow passage trapped between steep cliffs and the sea. Here, thousands of Persian soldiers could not attack at once. Only a few could fight side by side. It was the perfect place to make a final stand. As the Persian army approached, Xerxes expected the Greeks to flee. Instead, his scouts returned with a strange report. The Spartans were calmly exercising. Some were combing their long hair. Others joked with one another. To the Persians, it looked insane. To the Spartans, it was tradition. They were preparing to die. When the sun rose over Thermopylae, King Xerxes decided it was time to crush the Greek resistance. He sent a messenger forward with one final demand: surrender your weapons, and your lives will be spared. King Leonidas answered without hesitation, "Come and take them." Moments later, Persian war drums echoed across the valley. Thousands of soldiers marched toward the narrow pass, confident the battle would end before sunset. The Greeks waited in complete silence. Only when the first Persian ranks entered the narrowest section did Leonidas give the order. The Spartan shield wall moved forward as one, bronze shields locked together. Long spears pointed directly at the advancing enemy. The first Persian assault collapsed within minutes. There simply wasn't enough room for thousands of soldiers to fight at once. Every fallen warrior blocked the path behind him. Again and again the Persians charged. Again and again they were thrown back. Bodies soon covered the rocky ground. Xerxes watched from a nearby hill in disbelief. His army had conquered kingdoms across Asia, yet a few hundred Greeks refused to move. Determined to end the battle, he ordered his elite guard into the fight, the Immortals, 10,000 of Persia's finest warriors. They entered the pass expecting an easy victory. Instead, they met the same wall of bronze shields. The Spartans fought with perfect discipline. When one man became exhausted, another immediately stepped into his place. The line never broke. By sunset, thousands of Persians lay dead or wounded. The Greeks were still standing. But while the battle continued in the pass, a betrayal was already unfolding high in the mountains. Late that night, a local Greek named Ephialtes entered the Persian camp. For gold and the promise of reward, he revealed a secret mountain trail hidden behind Thermopylae. The path bypassed the Greek defenses completely. Xerxes immediately sent thousands of elite troops through the mountains under the cover of darkness. Only a small Greek force guarded the trail. They fought bravely, but they were overwhelmed. Before sunrise, a scout reached Leonidas with devastating news. The Persians were behind them. The pass had been surrounded. There was no escape. Leonidas gathered the Greek commanders. The mission had always been to delay the invasion, not destroy it. He ordered most of the Allied soldiers to retreat while there was still time. Many obeyed, but the Spartans refused to leave. So did 700 Thespians, who chose to stand beside them. They all knew what was coming. None of them expected to survive. As dawn broke over Thermopylae, the Persian army advanced from both directions. The defenders were trapped, yet instead of waiting behind their shields, Leonidas gave one final order: advance. The Greeks charged straight into the approaching Persians. The last stand had begun. The Spartans fought with everything they had left. Broken spears became swords. Broken swords became daggers. When even their weapons failed, they fought with their bare hands. King Leonidas fell in the middle of the battle, surrounded by Persian soldiers. His warriors launched a desperate counterattack and recovered his body, refusing to leave their king behind. Outnumbered from every direction, the remaining Greeks slowly retreated to a small hill behind the pass. There, they formed one final shield wall. King Xerxes had seen enough. Rather than lose more men in close combat, he ordered thousands of archers forward. A single command echoed across the battlefield. The sky turned black. A storm of arrows fell upon the last defenders of Thermopylae. Within minutes, the battle was over. Persia had won the pass, but the Spartans had accomplished their mission. Their sacrifice delayed the Persian advance, allowing the Greek city-states to prepare for the battles that followed. Just weeks later, the Persian fleet suffered a crushing defeat at Salamis. The following year, the Persian invasion collapsed at Plataea. The 300 Spartans never returned home, but their courage became one of the greatest legends in military history. More than 2,500 years later, the Battle of Thermopylae is still remembered, not because the Spartans won, but because they chose to stand against impossible odds when everyone else believed defeat was certain.